Hi, I'm Marci Lebowitz, occupational therapist and autism and sensory overload specialist. So I love people with autism, particularly my specialty is children with autism who are aggressive. The children that most people are afraid of because they're so volatile. So I have been very blessed to be able to create a system that calms aggressive children with autism, and adults too, in under 10 minutes. It's called the Sensory Overload System, or SOS for short. And it's a technique that very quickly calms and organizes people with autism, brings their senses back in, lets them get back in their body, breathing, and ready to go for the rest of the day. So I hope you enjoy this video on the Sensory Overload System, or SOS. Again, Marci Lebowitz, and Autism and Sensory Overload Specialist. Thank you. Okay. So first step is to get them into the chair, and if you can see, I was guiding them at their arm, which is really important, the upper arm, because that gives me the most control to be able to calm them. So I'm not yanking or pulling on the person with autism, I'm directing them. So I'm the one in charge at this point, because if you remember, for this technique, these guys are out of control. They're hitting, they're kicking, they're biting, they're spitting, they're banging their head. So everything has to do with the control of my body that's being communicated non-verbally to them, because I'm not going to be speaking with him at all. There's no verbal instructions going on. Okay. Next step, so I've got a crazy kind of person here, right? So arms are going around, kicking, hitting, kick a little flat. The next step is a pillow or a bolster. Put them down. Goes on their legs, and my leg goes up and stabilizes on there. So do you feel like you're kind of grounded?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that their body's now planted, so they can't kick anymore and move their legs. And they start to relax because I'm helping them get back down in their body. Next step, it would go much faster than this. The hands go on the head like this. I'm going to pull you forward just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So their hands are staying up on their head like this the whole time for a couple reasons. First is to open up the diaphragm and the breathing. Okay. Second is to open up the heart and lungs. Good. Third is to get the blood flow that's been in the hands back down to the heart. I'm in control now. So these kids that headbutt and bang their heads stop immediately because I'm giving them pressure on their head. That's what they're looking for. That's what the head banging is, to bring them back down and calm them. The hands stay up there. And again, I will always be looking at them. Right now I'm looking at you in the camera. And I'm going to just stay connected through eye contact. I'm not speaking to the child at all. I'm silent. So move it just a little bit more. Right there. Feel that?
Yep.
Okay. So what happens, it's now right in the center of his head. He's getting input through his entire spine and through every brain organ. Primarily he's getting it also through his limbic system of the brain, which has to do with emotional regulation, which is pivotal. And the limbic system and the diaphragm are pivotal also for breathing. What happens is then I push intensely, which I am not going to do on this kind man. Bring your hands down for a second. Because he will go into sensory overload if I do this on him. So the amount of pressure I'm doing on him, I would do on a child, would be like this. I mean, it's intense, and it's fast, and it's hard. What that does, okay, when I do that, and I'm doing this really deep, hard pressure, is it literally starts to get air back down into the diaphragm so they can breathe. What's happening when people are in sensory overload, they literally cannot breathe, so they panic. That's why they start to hit. So I'm pushing and pushing and pushing much harder than I'm doing now, because it's literally like this popping motion. Then I'll do that for a few minutes, let's say 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm just going to stop pushing and I just look. And I'm looking to see, are the eyes relaxing? What is their breath like? Are they calming down? Especially the eyes, when they're very upset and sensory overload, it's literally like they're rolling around in their head. In this case, what I'm looking for is the eye to go back in center and to be able to give me eye contact. So I'll take a break for a minute or so, because I'm also wanting the child to start to regulate and calm themselves without me doing the deep pressure. If I find they need more pressure, let's say they're about halfway calm, I go back and do the intense pressure again. I'm constantly looking, engaging at the child. I'm not asking them anything. When someone's in sensory overload and you talk to them, they get more overloaded and anxious. So there's no conversation going on. And again, I'm working with people with autism who communicate all non-verbally anyway, so you very clearly get the message when they calm. So we've done another round, and now let's say he's calmed down. I can tell his face is relaxed, he's softened. I'm listening for the little noises that these guys make. People that are non-verbal make a lot of clicking sounds and happy sounds and smiling when they're in good shape. But I'm going to keep my hands on I'm going to keep his hands on his head and just connect with him, just to get him calmed the rest of the way. So the technique really itself, the hands-on part, is probably about 5 or 6 minutes. Once I feel like he's completely calm, he's given me his signals that he's fine, then the hands can come down. And this is where it's different for for every person. Some people want me to rub their shoulders and give some more deep pressure. Okay? Some people want me to come down on and give the full arms pressure. Now, I don't have to do this to the legs because my leg is giving him this pressure the entire time. That's what keeps you grounded in your body. Some people, I have worked with some children, don't need me to do any pressure on them, but they want me just to hold their hands and get eye contact, okay? Some will hold one of my hands and like literally take their hand and like rub my face or on my heart, because they're thanking me, you know, when we're communicating. So once that's done, okay, and I see that we've got this connection, then I will take the pillow out. And I'm still holding their hand because this is such an intense experience, and these guys are just calming down, so I want them to feel connected to me all the time. When they are ready and done, I would give them a picture symbol to indicate where they're going, back to class, and we just go ahead and stand up, head up, take a deep breath together, and we go on our way. That's it.
All right.
The most important part in this is getting the exact positioning of the person's hands on their head. If you have it too far forward, they'll put their head forward and head bang. Too far back, they'll head bang. Okay, what I want is this center position. And a lot of times I have these guys, particularly ones who headbang, in a chair that's up high. So they'll rest their head back. So they might put a little pressure against the back of their head, and then I can just get in there, because the entire purpose of this is to get them to relax and calm and organize. Okay? Great. Thank you. Again, Marci Lebowitz. You can find me at marcilebowitz.com. Thank you.